The plasma bolt missed my head by centimeters and I felt the heat sear past my ear as I dove behind the rubble of what used to be downtown Seattle. 3 months ago this was a thriving city. Now it was a graveyard of twisted metal and shattered glass where humanity made its desperate last stand against the Valorian invasion fleet. My name is Elena Vasquez. Combat engineer. Guerrilla fighter. One of the last humans still actively fighting instead of hiding in the underground bunkers. And today I was about to do something incredibly stupid. I was going to kill their leader. The Valorians weren't like the aliens from old movies. They didn't come in peace. They came in fire. Massive ships that blotted out the sun. Warriors 8 feet tall with obsidian black skin covered in glowing blue veins, and faces that were almost human except for the ridge of crystalline horns that crowned their heads and eyes that burned like molten gold. They said their commander Theron was immortal. That he'd conquered 40 worlds before ours. That he was death incarnate wrapped in armor forged from dying stars. I didn't care about legends. I cared about the fact that he'd glassed half of North America in the first week and turned my home into ash. Intel said he was inspecting the Seattle ruins today. Personally. Some kind of ritual the Valorians did after crushing resistance. He'd walk through the devastation. Absorb the victory. Make it real. It was arrogant. It was predictable. And it was my only chance. I checked my rifle. Salvaged Valorian tech retrofitted with human ammunition. It had exactly 3 shots before the energy core would overload and probably take my arm off. But 3 shots were all I needed. 1 for his guards. 2 for him. The ground shook. They were coming. I pressed myself flatter against the rubble and controlled my breathing the way my father taught me before the invasion. Before the Valorians dropped their first bomb on Mexico City where my family was visiting. Before I watched the sky turn to fire and everything I loved turn to dust. Through my scope I saw them. A formation of Valorian warriors in their ceremonial black and gold armor moving through the ruined streets like they owned them. Because they did. Behind them walked something that made my blood freeze and boil at the same time. Commander Theron. He was taller than the others. Easily 9 feet of pure predatory grace. His armor wasn't black like theirs. It was deep crimson that seemed to drink in the light. Gold accents traced patterns across the plates that looked like constellations. His 4 arms moved with fluid precision. 2 rested on the hilts of curved blades at his sides. 2 hung relaxed but ready. But it was his face that stopped my breath. I expected a monster. What I saw was devastating. Sharp angular features that could have been carved from stone. High cheekbones. A strong jaw. Lips that should not have looked that perfect on something that had murdered millions. And his horns. 7 crystalline spires that curved back from his forehead catching the light and scattering it in fractured rainbows. His eyes though. Even through the scope at this distance I could see them. Molten gold that burned with an intensity that made something primal in me want to run. Or kneel. I shook the thought away. That was just the Valorian command presence. The pheromones they released that made weaker species submit. I'd trained to resist it. He stopped walking. Right in the middle of the street. His head tilted slightly as if he was listening to something only he could hear. Then his eyes swept the ruins around him with methodical precision. Searching. Hunting. I held my breath. There was no way he could sense me. I was too far. Too well hidden. His eyes locked directly onto my position. Time stopped. Even through 100 meters and a sniper scope those golden eyes found mine. And something happened that shouldn't be possible. I felt it. Like an electric shock that started in my chest and exploded through every nerve in my body. Recognition. Impossible ancient recognition. His expression changed. The cold mask of a conqueror cracked. His eyes widened. His mouth opened slightly in what looked like shock. One of his 4 hands went to his chest as if he'd been struck. And then I heard it. Not with my ears. With something deeper. A voice that resonated in my bones. Shirvara. The word meant nothing to me but everything to something primal that woke up inside me and screamed yes. His guards noticed his distraction. They turned toward my position. Raising weapons. I had seconds. I aimed. Finger on the trigger. Center mass. 1 shot. End this. I couldn't pull the trigger. What was wrong with me? This was the alien who destroyed my world. Who killed my family? Who turned Earth into his personal conquest trophy? I should want nothing more than to paint the ruins with his blood. But those eyes. Those impossibly golden eyes looked at me like I was the answer to a question he'd been asking for 1,000 years. Shirvara, he said again. Louder this time. His voice was deep. Resonant. It carried across the distance like thunder. You found me. What? He took a step toward me. His guards tried to stop him. He waved them off with one hand while the others reached forward. Reaching for me. Like I was something precious. Something he'd lost. This was insane. I broke from cover. Abandoning stealth. I ran. Climbing through the rubble away from him as fast as I could move. Behind me I heard shouts in the Valorian language. The sound of energy weapons charging. No. Theron's command voice cracked like a whip. Do not harm her. She is, he switched to English. Perfect unaccented English. She is everything. I didn't stop to process that. I ran harder. Through collapsed buildings. Over shattered vehicles. My combat training pushed my body past its limits. I could hear him behind me. Not running. Walking. Like he had all the time in the world. Like he knew I couldn't actually escape. Please. His voice followed me. Gentle now. Pleading. I will not hurt you. I could never hurt you. Don't you remember? Remember what? I'd never seen him before today. Never met any Valorian before they invaded 3 months ago. There was nothing to remember except the screaming and the fire and my foot caught on debris. I went down hard. Rolled. Came up with my rifle raised. And found myself face to face with him. He'd moved impossibly fast. Closed the distance in heartbeats. Now he stood 3 feet away. Towering over me. Forearms spread slightly in a non-threatening posture. His weapon still sheathed. Those golden eyes locked on mine with an intensity that should have terrified me. Stay back, I said. My voice shook. The rifle shook. Everything shook. I'll shoot. You won't. He said it with complete certainty. You couldn't before. You can't now. Because you feel it too. Feel what? The bond. He took one slow step forward. I should have fired. Should have done anything. But I was frozen. The Shirvara. The soul thread that connects us across lifetimes. Across worlds. Across death itself. You're insane. Perhaps. A sad smile crossed his devastating face. But I have searched for you for 3,000 years. Conquered 40 worlds hoping to find the one where you were reborn. And here you stand. My Elena. My bride. My completion. How do you know my name? I know everything about you. He knelt. Slowly. Bringing that massive frame down until we were at eye level. I know you were born in San Antonio. I know you lost your family in Mexico City during the first strike. I know you blame yourself for surviving. I know you dream of a silver city under twin moons where we danced under stars that no longer exist. My blood turned to ice. That dream. I'd had that dream since I was a child. An impossible beautiful dream of a place that couldn't exist. And in that dream there was always someone. A shadow I could never quite see. Someone who made me feel complete. That's not possible, I whispered. Our souls knew each other before our bodies did. He raised one hand slowly. Carefully. Giving me every chance to pull away. His palm touched my cheek and the world exploded. Memories that weren't mine flooded in. A silver city under twin moons. I was there. But I wasn't human. I was something else. Something elegant and powerful. And he was there. Not as a conqueror. As my partner. My equal. My love. I saw us dancing under those impossible stars. Saw us fighting side by side against enemies I didn't recognize. Saw us building something beautiful together. A civilization. An empire of light and wonder. And then I saw the end. Betrayal. War. Everything burning. Us torn apart. Him reaching for me as reality itself shattered. His last words. I will find you. In every life. In every world. I will find you. I gasped and pulled back. The vision stopped. I was back in the ruins of Seattle. Kneeling in broken glass and ash. With an alien warlord's hand still on my face and tears I didn't understand streaming down my cheeks. What did you do to me? My voice broke. Nothing. His thumb gently wiped away my tears. I only awakened what was always there. The memory of who we were. Who we are meant to be. You destroyed my world. I know. Pain flashed in those golden eyes. Real pain. And I would unmake it all if I could. But I had to find you. The Shivara bond grows stronger with proximity. I knew you were on this world. I could feel you like a compass pointing north. But I couldn't locate you precisely until you glassed half the planet and I came out to fight. He closed his eyes. Yes. I should have hated him more in that moment. Should have put the rifle against his chest and pulled the trigger. But something in me wouldn't. Couldn't. Because underneath the rage and grief there was something else. Something that recognized him. Something that had been waiting my entire life. This is a trick, I said. Some Valorian mind control. If I wanted to control you I would have done it already. He opened his eyes. The Shivara cannot be faked. Cannot be forced. It simply is. And denying it hurts us both. As if to prove his point I felt it. An ache in my chest. Like something vital was being stretched too thin. The same ache I'd carried my whole life without knowing what it was. An emptiness I'd tried to fill with purpose. With vengeance. With anything that might make it stop. What do you want from me? I finally asked. Everything. He said it simply. I want you to remember. I want you to come home. I want you to stand beside me as you did 3,000 years ago before the universe tore us apart. I want you to be my bride. My empress. My completion. And if I refuse? His expression shattered. Like I'd struck him. Then I will honor your choice. Withdraw my forces. Leave your world. And spend another 3,000 years searching. But know this, Elena. Every moment we are apart is agony. Every lifetime we miss is torture. I have died 1,000 deaths waiting for you. I will die 1,000 more if that is your wish. But I will never stop loving you. The sincerity in his voice broke something in me. This was a being who had leveled cities. Who commanded fleets that blotted out suns. Who was feared across half the galaxy. And he knelt before me. Vulnerable. Offering everything. I need time, I whispered. You have all the time you need. He slowly stood. But please. Let me show you the truth. Come to my ship. See what I have built. See what I have kept safe for you across 3 millennia. And if you still wish to fight me, if you still wish me dead, I will give you the blade myself. It was the stupidest decision of my life. But I nodded. His smile could have lit the ruins around us. Thank you, Shavara. Thank you for giving me hope. He offered one of his 4 hands. I stared at it. At the obsidian skin marked with glowing blue veins. At the claws that could tear through steel. And beneath all of that, at the slight tremor that showed he was afraid I'd refuse. I took his hand. The world shifted. Teleportation. We materialized on his flagship in orbit above Earth. The bridge was massive. All crimson and gold metal with viewscreens showing the planet below. Valorian warriors snapped to attention when their commander appeared. Then their eyes landed on me. Shock rippled through the room. All of you out, Theron commanded. His voice carried, I felt you on this world and the desperation made me into the monster you see. You still have a choice, I said. End the invasion. Leave.